Emma, here we are, the Winter Gardens, the Women's World Matchplay. How excited are you to get up on that stage tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I was speaking to my partner throughout the week and she was like, are you nervous yet? Are you nervous yet? And I wasn't, and then I come in here today and saw it, and yeah, and now I am.
Well, obviously, we know your partner played on the Lakeside stage back in the day. Have you picked her brain on what it's like stepping onto those stages?
A little. When was she? Was 2008, I think she was. Yeah. So I think she's getting on a bit now, so she probably doesn't remember it as well.
Look, you narrowly missed out last year. So when it was confirmed you were coming here, how happy were you? Like, yes, I've done it at last.
Yeah, I was really relieved because if you look at the players that aren't here, obviously Rian, Suzuki, I know she hasn't played, but there's some great players that aren't here. Obviously Aileen was on the cusp as well, so yeah, I'm really relieved.
Where is your game at the moment? Because we see you're quite critical of yourself on social media and stuff like that. Where is the game at the moment?
I think it's steady. I think it's not as good as it was this time last year. I felt like my scoring was a massive part of my game, whereas I drift into the 5 a bit more than I'd like to now. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to overcome.
We know your passion for the women's game, and we see that on social media. What do you think yourself needs to be done for the women to take that next step and get the exposure that you'd like to see?
I think it needs to come from everyone. I think it needs to come from media. It needs to come from people within darts. I think it needs to come from everyone. I feel like the women are putting in the hours now. They're putting in the practice. There's a lot more women that don't get the recognition that they deserve. So yeah, I think it's like an effort from everyone, really.
We know you were talking about the highlights and so on, not being on YouTube. Did you speak to the PDC about them putting and uploading more women's content to socials?
No, I didn't. No, I just did my little rants about it, and it seems to have done the trick because the finals are uploaded now. But I feel like the highlights would be better because you get to show more women. Obviously, the finals are dominated by the better players, which obviously that's how it should be. But I feel like it's not really a chance to see other lady players.
Cheers, Gemma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gemma, obviously you'll have been here, you'll have watched this on TV in recent years. What does it mean to be here, and what are your first impressions of the venue?
Yeah, it means a lot. I'm really excited to get going and obviously get on the stage. I was obviously out of the game for 8 years and didn't really watch much darts or play much darts, but yeah, to be here, it's quite surreal.
Is there anything that can prepare you for tomorrow?
I'm not sure. This is obviously the biggest venue that I've played. It might be the biggest venue that I ever play. So yeah, I think I've just got to try and stay calm and hopefully let the darts do the talking.
You've got Fallon Sherrick in the quarterfinals. Do you think, obviously Fallon said she's having a bit of break next year, do you think the pressure will be on Fallon tomorrow?
I don't think so. I think she's been in many a pressurised situation and she's always rose to that. So no, I don't think so. I think her mind will be firmly on the game. We've
seen you a lot in the Modus Super Series playing well. What experience can you take from that?
Yeah, a lot. Obviously, Modus have been great. I've played on the women's weeks. I've played on the main weeks. So that environment and being in front of cameras, I think that's been a huge boost to my game.
And you had an eventful introduction to Blackpool this morning. You said on social media. What can you tell us about that? And are you hoping it'll bring you a bit of luck tomorrow?
So I was just walking around. I think we were waiting at the traffic lights, and then I felt something hit my hair, and then I said to my other half, I was like, "That's a bird, isn't it?" And she was like, "Yes." So I had to deal with that. And I was trying to find a hat so I could cover it because we were miles away from the hotel. And then I got back to the hotel and I've got no running water. So yeah, brilliant.
So it goes back tomorrow. Thank you, Gemma.
Thank you.
Gemma, on social media as well, you're asking for tips on your walk on. Did you get any useful advice?
No, no, I didn't. No, somebody said about Black Sabbath, which is probably a good shout. But no, I knew what song I was going to have. I think it's just anxiety. I've never done it before, so I just think about everything that could go wrong. So hopefully none of it will now.
With more opportunities coming up for the women now, with extra World Championship places and something like that, is that something that you're targeting, looking towards?
Obviously, yeah. I think I'm always going to be looking at that, but it's something I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself for. I've been back playing for about 15 months now, so yeah, I've always got in my head that I don't want to do too much too soon. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then yeah, it doesn't.
And do you think that social media presence that you have is an actual boost? Because a lot of the people in the crowd might know who you are and get on your support.
Yeah,
and
no, I don't know really. I feel like I just waffle on my social media, so it could go either way. They might like me or they might not. So yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Gemma, debut, exciting. What's the biggest battle you're going to face tomorrow? Fallon Sherrock or your nerves?
I think it'll be the nerves. Yeah, I've played Fallon many a time before, so yeah, it's obviously something I'm used to playing against. So yeah, I think it'll definitely be the nerves.
It's obviously on a large stage, so obviously it will be quite daunting. But you've played on stages before, but not quite to this crowd.
Yes, yeah, that's I think the next level now is obviously being in an environment like this and hopefully being able to cope with it. Like you say, I have played on stages before and in front of a crowd, but never to this scale.
You try and make sure you savour and enjoy the occasion as well, because you don't know when it might happen again.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's really important. Is just to enjoy myself, and that's what I try and play with a smile on my face. So hopefully that will continue.
You're here to win it, aren't you? Not just to compete.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I could have a.
Well, it was good luck. What happened to you this morning? Apparently, that's supposed to be good luck.
Apparently, yeah. I've been told over probably about 200 times. So
the water thing perhaps isn't good luck.
No, yeah.
Because you don't want to wash it out.
Well, I'm hoping that by the time we're done here and I go back to the hotel, hopefully the running water will be back on.
Fingers crossed. Thanks, Gemma.
Gemma, you've said that when you're getting started back up playing that you joined a local men's weekly game to just kind of get your game focus back in. Do you feel that when you're rebuilding your playing that there's more or less pressure for those like weekly type events?
I felt like I remember going to my first one and I was so nervous because I felt like people would compare me to the player I was obviously 8 years previous. So yeah, I felt huge nerves going back to the first one that I played. But yeah, there is definitely pressure because I think people just expect you to perform all the time, and obviously it's darts, so it doesn't happen. So yeah, there's definitely some pressure.
And your average can range from the high 70s to the high 80s. Is there any specific practice that you've been working on to attempt to get a consistency within that range?
It's just scoring really. Like I said, scoring's always been a big part of my game, and I felt like I'm not maybe hitting as many 2 treble visits as I like, or I am hitting 2 treble visits and they're treble 5 and treble 1. So yeah, the plan is just to hit the red bit in the middle.
And you and Bo are on fairly similar paths with a lot of talent, very young, people talking about world championships. Was there or is there still any extra pressure in having those lofty goals kind of thrown at you young?
I think so. I mean, I don't feel young when I'm compared to Bo. I think she's 21, I'm 32 now. So, and obviously she's achieved so much already. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like I have a huge complex about too much too soon, like I said previously. So I just need to try and focus, and if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, then we'll try again next year.
Perfect. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.